Hello guys, what's up? This will be my first real video, using TTS unfortunately. But hey, if everything goes well you will be hearing me yap, instead of this free TTS voice in the next video. Today, I will be starting to build my Chongqing-inspired city. As you can see, I have already laid out some groundwork. The terrain, the road network, and some basic city planning of the downtown is already done, as well as the complicated roof of the Chongqing WFC, which is the first building we will be starting with now. The Chongqing World Financial Center, or WFC, is one of the defining buildings of the skyline of the city. And, even if it is only the fourth tallest, the position on the top of the hill makes it stand out above all other skyscrapers in the downtown area. It stands at 339 meters, which is 1,112 feet for all you high egg price people. Inside the ground level you can find a mall, while the skyscraper itself houses offices, a luxury hotel, as well as an observation deck and sky bar. With that said, let's start the time-lapse. Have fun watching me try to entertain you for 30 minutes with this weird TTS voice. Unfortunately, I have to slightly adjust the roof again here. I didn't know it yet, but this was actually due to a bug which causes blocks to shift ever so slightly every time you load your plot. Destroyer cam. Fix T's are N cuz ICLTS PMO SM. There we go. The World Financial Center is finished. Once Destroyer Cam adds the ability to change the color of the light block, I will add some LED lighting displaying something like, I heart Fujiang. But now we will immediately move on to the next buildings. 3 apartment towers standing on top of a supermarket type thing. They won't be inspired by anything in particular, but simply something I came up with while viewing the architecture of the city. I want to write supermarket in simplified Chinese. I am aware that simplified Chinese is usually not a written language, but traditional Chinese has too many letters for me to fit it on the building. I'm also aware that translators are not very good at Chinese. So if someone watching this can speak Mandarin, let me know if this is actually a correct translation, and if you can recognize what I wrote. With that, the apartments are finished, complete with a nice view of the river. Alright, now moving on to be honest, no idea what this building is. This next one is actually inspired by a real building. Sadly, I was unable to find the name or anything else about it. I simply found it on Google Earth. Now comes a generic apartment building. but with a skybar on top. I think, as you may have noticed, while building the last few buildings, I was really enjoying making use of one specific texture here. The next buildings will be what the average Chongqing apartments look like. You can expect to see a lot of similar buildings in this series, but of course, I will still try to keep it diverse, which is a pretty big challenge when it comes to Chinese cities. apartments are finished. Next I will build a building with very interesting architecture. It is called the Gotai Arts Center. Unfortunately, out of concern for the data limit and lack of time, I will only be able to make a very simplified version. But it should still make for an interesting site. The last building for today, an office, but with a slanted roof. I'm not sure, but in the end it gave me a bit of a Japanese feel. And that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Before this video ends, if I was able to keep your attention till the end, I want to ask you all to share your feedback about both the video itself and about my builds. This was the first time I actually spent time and effort on a video, so if other people with experience in this sort of thing have any tips for improvement, I'd really like to hear them. And of course, at this stage, it would mean a lot to me if you liked and subscribed. As cliché as it sounds, now, another thing I want to share is what you can expect from this series. Firstly, I will definitely finish this project sooner or later. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time at the moment, so it might take a while till new videos are finished. Secondly, you can expect the builds to stay at around the same level of detail as in this video. This is both due to the fact that there is a limit of around 70,000 blocks, which as far as I know will eventually get heightened, but I have no idea when that is. As well as the simple reason that I want to finish this sometime this or in the beginning of the next year, and not accompanied by my grandkids as I lay on my deathbed. You can find me on Discord on most, or as far as I'm aware, all mini-cities related servers if you want to contact me. I hope to be able to speak with my own voice the next time I release a video. I think that's it for now. Have a nice day or night. Goodbye.